If you've ever watched a movie about ancient Greece or Rome, you might have seen people running around in terror as some kind of creepy monster chases them through the streets. Usually it's some sort of lion with wings, the usual Tuesday. But sometimes it's something more ambiguous. A creature with a human-like torso and animal legs and heads, or even just a disembodied set of legs with claws at the end. What is this thing and why are the poor Greeks so scared of it? Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the androcteasi, terrifying creatures from Greek mythology. If you like myths and monsters, then make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. The word androcteasi comes from the ancient Greek word andros, meaning man, and ktesios, meaning slaughterer, or andros and kesis, meaning man-destroying. So these figures were seen as man-eaters, which is bad. They are most often depicted as having the head and torso of a human male and the legs and feet of a bird of prey, specifically an eagle. And while they might seem similar to the harpies of Greek myth, the harpies were usually female. So we're dealing with a different monster entirely here. Sometimes the androcteasi had the forebody of a lion instead of a human, but this was definitely not a sphinx because those had a female human forebody. These creatures were truly all male. Androcteasi were typically shown as being bald, muscular, and winged, and they carried weapons like swords, spears, and shields. The most famous depiction of them can be found on the frieze of the Parthenon, where they are shown battling with and being battled by heroes like Theseus and Perseus. We don't have a ton of information about them from classical sources, but what we do know comes mostly from two sources, the 3rd century BC sculptor and poet Pliny the Elder, and the Orphic poet Stesinus, who was active in the late 6th century BC. According to Pliny, there were 4 androcteasi that lived on an island in the Aegean Sea south of the Black Sea, somewhere between Thrace and the Caucasus Mountains. They lived in a cave and made their living preying on sailors. I guess that makes them kind of like the man-eating lions of the sea. When these beasts would attack, they would send out a scouting party on horseback to find a new meal. If they found someone tasty, they would bring them back to the cave to be devoured. Theseus, the hero we mentioned earlier, apparently slew 2 of these creatures while the other 2 escaped. One of the slain androcteasi was hung upside down from a tree as an offering to Zeus, while the other was skinned and its hide used as a burial shroud for heroes Theseus and Pirithous. While Pliny gives us details on the location and behavior of these monsters, he doesn't really tell us anything about their appearance. That part came from Stesinus. In his poem, Thebaid, Stesinus describes the androcteasi as having the face of a youth, the chest of a lion, and the legs of an eagle. He also mentions that they had the strength of 1,000 men, which is always handy when you're trying to kill someone. According to him, they lived in a cave in a remote part of Thrace and spent their time practicing medicine. Yet medicine. Apparently, they were so skilled at this that when anyone in the area became sick, they would go to the androcteasi for treatment. But if you were one of the monster's many victims, your illness would probably be fatal. And I imagine any survivors would probably be too scared to return to the doctor, even if he did have a really great bedside manner. It seems likely that the androcteasi were originally some kind of mysterious cult figure. Perhaps a death cult, given the fact that they lived in a cave and ate human flesh. The cave aspect is particularly interesting because in Plato's Republic, there is mention of an androctasios that lives in a cave and preys on people who enter it. This monster is never fully described, but it seems likely that this is the same creature as the others we've been discussing. Over time, this mysterious cult figure turned into a literary monster, appearing in epic poetry, vase paintings, and even Roman sculpture. And there's still a lot that we don't know about these creatures. What other roles did they play in the myths of ancient Greece? Are there other stories about them that have simply been lost to time? Who knows? Maybe someday we'll even find out what they looked like before they ate someone. Speaking of lost to time, unfortunately, that's all we have for you today. But don't worry, you can always watch our video on Medusa. Until next time, stay safe and remember John shot first.